welcome to episode 9 of Cooking with Grill Boy on the OU Insider YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Maine Black Bears episode, and consistent with my tradition, I'm not cooking a black bear today, but I am doing New England clam chowder, specifically Maine clam chowder, white clam chowder. Really excited about this recipe because theoretically it should be cooling off soon. It is November. Still highs in the 80s around here, but really excited about this recipe. It's a good hearty recipe, decently easy to make, and it's going to last for a little while. So let's waste no further time and get on to the ingredients. All right, first things first, some bacon. Next, we're going to do a couple stalks of celery. We're going to do some red potatoes. Next up, we've got a large white onion. And then we've got 3 cans of clams, chopped clams. You can do chopped or minced clams. But get yourself some clam juice as well. Those are 6.5 ounce cans, by the way. Over here, you've got a bit of heavy cream. Then you've got butter. Then you've got all-purpose flour. Next up, we're going to prepare and chop vegetables. I know I didn't put carrots in the video, but I found them in my fridge, and I go, man, I bet this chowder would go well with some carrots. So we're putting carrots in. Notice I peel them there. Then you're going to cut it in half, and then cut it hot dog style, if you will. You're going to cut it down lengthwise again on each side, and then that will give you a nice uniform way to cut, and you're going to do a small dice on these. Next up, you're going to do the celery the same way. So I get off the kind of the ends. We're going to trim these guys down a little bit, trim the leaves off, and then we're going to cut it long ways. Be careful. Cut it long ways, and then cut the other one long ways. Put it right in that natural ridge that's in celery. And then we're going to arrange them just like we did the carrots, and then chop. Little small dice on these. Just like that. Next up, we've got the onion. You've seen me cut onions on this channel probably 10 times in the last 9 weeks. So I just want to show you the finished product just like that. That's about as big as you want it. And then we've got the red potatoes. You cut each side off, and then what I do is I cut it into sixths. I cut it once through the middle, and then cut it twice, giving me 6 pieces, lay them on the side, and then run the blade through. What I do is I use the knife with the ridges in it so it doesn't get stuck to the blade. After this, it's going to drain our can, so go ahead and open up the chopped clams, pour them in. We're just going to drain them. Make sure you get everything out of there because we are going to use this clam juice. So use a strainer or a colander, throw those in, and you're going to separate these two things. I actually end up using a little bit more of the clam juice. You should use about 2 cups, but I mean, having it reduced down a little bit more won't be a problem. So you add a little clam juice to that bowl. And then next, I've put this bacon in the freezer for a little while. It makes it a lot easier to cut. So you're going to do this. If you cut like warm bacon, it's really tough to get through all this fat. So just cut it there in nice strips. As you see, it's coming across very nicely. And then we're going to throw it into our big soup pot here that we're going to make. So once you throw that frozen bacon in, and it partially frozen, not all the way frozen, you're going to let it cook down and look at all that bacon grease as that browns. Now with the grease, you throw in all of your onions. You want it in all of that bacon fat. That's why you don't add oil or anything like this to the pan. The bacon fat's going to give you all of the oil, quote unquote, that you need for this dish. So get your onions nice and incorporated and cook them down. And just before they're about, I don't know, when they're about 20% of the way, go ahead and add your celery and your carrots, right? Because the onions retain so much of that water, they're going to take a while to cook down. You know, celery contains a bit of water too, carrots less, but you're going to stir those down and you're going to continue to stir. This probably took about, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes, just like this, wanting them to cook down. And then you're gonna have something that looks like this. Next, you're going to take your drained potatoes, because I put these in cold water, and you're gonna dump these in. But first, you're going to scrape the bottom of the pan because you gotta get all that good fond off the bottom. But your potatoes, see how they're in a colander or a strainer? Because I took them out of cold water. You don't want potatoes to sit out and oxidize or they're all turned brown. So make sure when you cut them, put them in a bowl of cold water, then strain them out. And then give these a good stir. And then next, we're gonna go in with the clam juice. I take all of that from that bowl. I want it a little bit more submerged. So I think to myself, maybe time to go get the bottle. So grab the bottle out of the fridge, do a little dump here. Once I get the lid off, of course. Do a little bit of dump here and think, okay, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I threw the rest in. Next, you're gonna add milk and clams. So this can be your half and half, your milk, your heavy cream, anything like that. Go ahead and add that in, and you can add all of your 3 cans of strained, drained clams. Add these 2 in at the same time, and then give this a good stir. And we're gonna let this reduce a little bit while we make a slurry. So give it a good stir, get it all incorporated, and then this is gonna cook for a while now, maybe 20 minutes. Up next, we've got our slurry. So put a little butter in the pan. This is a half of a stick of butter. So half a stick of butter, just melt this down. You don't want to burn it, but swirl it, melt it down. And then we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're gonna whisk this together because we're making a roux, essentially. So make sure and get the corners of the pan, move the pan around if you need, tilt the pan up on its edge if you need, but you want to fully incorporate that melted butter with that flour. And then next, what we're gonna do is add in some of that cream, right? So we did 2/3 of the cream actually in the soup pot, in the chowder pot, and then the rest we're gonna do to make this roux. So it's gonna get thickened up a bit, continue to stir, work all those corners. You don't want any floury lumps. So you're gonna do that, add in the rest of your cream. Again, this is a slow process that's gotta come together. Keep that heat on about medium, I suppose. Medium high even if you need, but you just gotta stay active. You want it to bubble a little bit. You almost want it to get down. Well, I'll just show you the consistency right here. So you want it at this consistency, where you can fully scrape it off the bottom. So we're gonna dump this into the chowder. Don't mind that little handle run over. That's nothing to concern yourself with. But this is gonna thicken this chowder up a little bit. It's already gonna thicken by reducing a bit, but it's gonna thicken the chowder up. All right, it's all done. Time to dive in. Get all some good stuff there at the bottom. Just gonna start, you can see how hot that is. So leave that in there. All right, probably gonna be a burn take here, so don't judge me. Whew, that is good. It is very hot, very, very hot, but good. Potatoes turned out perfect tenderness. You actually do get a little bit of the chew of the bacon. It's not just all fat that basically got rehydrated with a bunch of broth. It's very, very good. Lots of clam in there. Very good. Lots of clam taste from all that clam juice. And of course, gotta add some of this though. Rescue Dog hot sauce, my favorite hot sauce in the world, partners of mine. And this one is called Bad Idea, written in Sharpie. So, I don't know what's in it. I know it's allegedly a bad idea. We're just gonna do a couple drops of it. Because if Tim says it's a bad idea, it's gotta be extra hot. So, we'll give that a stir in there. Take another bite. Whew. Yeah, the temperature heat mixed in with the hot sauce heat, yeah, it's good. It's very good. I'm going to have to add some to this bowl to kind of dissipate some of that hot sauce a little bit. But check out Rescue Dog hot sauce.
They partner with local dog rescues around the Oklahoma City metro. They're at the Norman Farmers Market all the time. They're actually coming out with a couple different new recipes, new flavors that maybe I'll have throughout the rest of the season with us. So appreciate you tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And then let me know what I should cook for Mizzou, the Mizzou Tigers. Let me know and make this. Enjoy.